相棒、新規開発には期待していたんだが、残念ながら品質管理がうまくいかなかったようだ。研究開発画面からチームに再開発の指示を出してくれ。
Now here's something we haven't said for a little while. Welcome along to qualifying in China. After a few years' absence from the calendar, it is great to be back here. But just who is going to put their car on pole? for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. It's time again then for Formula One in Shanghai, northwest of the thriving city of over 24 million people. It's a circuit that first featured in the championship calendar back in 2004. It played host to Formula One's 1000th Grand Prix back in 2019. Shanghai International Circuit then is a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience. The flat, open to the elements location, test their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and they're available into turn 1 and down the kilometre-long back straight into turn 14. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Sainz, Perez, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Ricciardo, Ocon, Gasly, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Magnussen, Zhou, Sargent, Tsunoda, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time for Lights Out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. I don't want to, but we should look at their recent performances, and I think poor is a universal word to describe them.
It's hard to say sometimes, and it's hard to accept yourself as well. It's easy to go blaming other circumstances as to why your driver rating might have slipped, but it's time for a reset. You got to get back to where you were. You know you can do it. You've proven it in the past. So now it's time to make that happen.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. This lap, we can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, Lewis, we've got some clear track in front of us, and let's make the best of it. So please make this next one a very fast lap. You hit that target nicely. There's a long way to go in this race, so let's keep it clean. Final lap, push, push.
So grateful for all of you, for all the work back in the factory and here. Thanks so much for not giving up on me.
Lewis Hamilton takes the checkered flag and once again wins. And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
相棒、新規開発には期待していたんだが、残念ながら品質管理がうまくいかなかったようだ。研究開発画面からチームに再開発の指示を出してくれ。
With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino that first opened in 1863. And of course, a certain road race first held in 1929. There's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco, then, is not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo. And although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Norris, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Gasly, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Albon, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Bottas, Ricciardo, Sargent and Zhou Guanyu. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. As we all know, every single driver wants to know what's required of them. And in the case of this driver, I think things are pretty stable at the moment. They're doing what the team require.
Well, that's the thing, you know, as a driver, it's easy to feel like you're the individual. It's all about you. And, you know, you want to further your career the best you can, but you have to have the team hat on as well and play the team game, work with your teammate as best you can. It's not an easy balance to figure out.
Okay, you know this, but this track needs a lot of downforce, and as such, we're not going to have quite the same top speed as other circuits. The good news, though, is that it's going to make our DRS even more powerful. So try to make the most of it in the race and quali if you can. DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Okay, Lewis, we've got some clear track around us now, so let's use it and make this next lap a quick one. Let's go. Stuff. It looked like you made easy work of that target. Let's try and keep that going right through to the end of the race. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 6.3 seconds. Final lap, let's go, final lap.
Let's go. Great job, guys. That was a tough race.
And as we've said so many times in the past, the checkered flag is out for our winner, Lewis Hamilton.
With 5 race victories now, it's for the others now really to try and stop that momentum that they've got on their side, because before too long, they're going to be looking at the championship. It's theirs, it's within grasp right now, of course.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
どうやら新たなライバルができたようね。あなたの実力を見せつける時よ。負けたらあなたのエージェント辞めるから。っていうのは冗談よ。あなたと働くのは楽しいわ。
相棒、新規開発には期待していたんだが、残念ながら品質管理がうまくいかなかったようだ。研究開発画面からチームに再開発の指示を出してくれ。
Welcome back, everybody. We're here in Canada at the wonderful Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Who's going to come out fastest of all in the next hour? Yes, it's time for qualifying. That wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix. We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978, and it was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on this circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell, Perez, Stroll, Gasly, Albon, Bottas, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Sargent, Joe, Tsunoda, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And striding into our commentary box to join us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Davidson. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say they've got the better of them more often than not. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Good job, nice overtake. fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Okay, Lewis. Tyre condition still looking good. Piastri ahead. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push. Oh mate, you made that look easy. Nice work. That's why I love working with you. Smashed it. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Okay, gap ahead, 1.9 seconds. Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
Guys, my apologies for that mistake earlier on, but we live, we will learn. On to the next one.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
A great display of dominance today, Crofty, by this driver. They led from lights out to the flag at the end, led every lap of the race. Brilliant stuff by them, and excited to see what more they can do in future races.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.